Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault.
Tonight, the U.S. captures Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. The overnight attack, the charges Maduro was facing, the reactions around the world and from lawmakers. My interview with Senator Tim Kaine.
From WCYB, this is News 5 at 6.
We are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious.
Tonight, a striking assault on Venezuela overnight as U.S. forces capture the country's president, Nicolás Maduro. Maduro now taken to the U.S. to face charges of narco-terrorism. Good evening, everyone. I'm Caleb Perney. The action to remove another country's leader comes after months of strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. President Trump says that the assault on Venezuela's capital, Caracas, was something not seen since World War II. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, have been indicted on charges that they were involved in a conspiracy to flood the U.S. with drugs. Trump says the U.S. will run Venezuela until new leadership with the, quote, good of the Venezuelan people in mind can take over. And the president also says tonight that U.S. oil companies will go in and fix Venezuela's oil infrastructure. The operation is getting mixed reaction from lawmakers, and national correspondent Christine Frizzell reports what President Trump says will happen next has stunned people across the globe.
A series of explosions in the middle of the night, followed by the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores.
This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal.
President Trump sharing this photo of Maduro on board the USS Iwo Jima en route to New York, where he'll face multiple charges outlined in this indictment, including narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and possession of machine guns and destructive devices.
He is a fugitive of American justice. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members.
Perhaps most shocking to the world, this announcement by the president.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
President Trump suggesting Secretary of State Rubio and Defense Secretary Hegseth will help, working with a group inside Venezuela, making clear the transition involves oil.
We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries. And we also have to have energy. Very important.
Democrats slamming the announcement.
This is insane. What the hell are we doing? I mean, we've got a lot of problems in America today, and invading, occupying, running Venezuela does not solve any of them.
President Trump and his team made clear they did not notify members of Congress before the attack. They say out of fear of leaks that could have endangered the mission. Top Democrats, meanwhile, are warning the operation sets a precedent that could make it more justifiable for countries like Russia and China to oust leaders of countries they dislike. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
There are a lot of questions tonight about what could come next. Our News 5 political analyst Eric Stanton says the U.S. has a history of being bad at nation building. Stanton says the reaction in Venezuela will make the difference.
The main thing that we're going to be looking at in the very near term is how did the Venezuelans that are left in Venezuela perceive this change? If they're open, if they're celebratory, then this is a good thing for us. If they're not, then we're going to run into a lot of resistance.
And tonight, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are reacting to the capture of Venezuela's president. In a video call with reporters this afternoon, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine called the action illegal. Kaine says his main concern is that President Trump did not seek congressional approval before the attack. By law, only Congress has the authority to declare war on another country.
The Constitution is very clear. The nation can go to war if Congress votes for it to go to war, and that vote is meant to provide a debate in the view of the public about what the stakes of war are, so that the American public and the entire leadership of the country is bought into the notion that this is a matter of the most serious magnitude that would warrant risking American troops.
Senator, if you were having that debate in Congress right now, would you be in favor of military action in Venezuela?
Absolutely not. I would not be in favor of it. As somebody who lived in Latin America and has a lot of friends in the region and has paid careful attention to the repeated efforts of failure when the United States has tried to intervene in the domestic politics of other countries, I think it's a disastrous idea.
Meanwhile, some other lawmakers are expressing support tonight. Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn posted on X thanking President Trump, saying, quote, "I fully support the Trump administration for doing what is needed to save American lives." Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty said, while others talk about countering narco-terrorism, he is acting to make sure the world's worst narco-terrorists face justice. Representative Morgan Griffith, however, expressed reservations, saying, "I am concerned about U.S. military intervention in foreign countries because of its potential to lead to protracted U.S. engagement." You can read the full statements from these and all of our region's lawmakers right now at WCYB.com. We're keeping the site updated as we learn more tonight.